51, enter the trance matrix. So today we're going to talk about fear. Oh, wait a minute. No. Is that right? No, wait. No, this one's about the trance matrix. That's right. Okay, so maybe, so let me think about this for a second. Is a trance actually fear? Or is a trance matrix, as we're defining it, the ability to accept the pressures of current reality, or rather the inability to accept pressures? It's kind of like that person who gets the bill in the mail and says, it's not really due until I open it. I think we all have had a friend or a relative that does that. You know, we find ourselves diversions and distractions and alternatives that numb our minds so much and so well, they become, though, that warm, comfy habit, and in some cases, addictions. And anything to squelch the fear and the pain of an imaginary, impending failure or doom, whether it be real or not. It's the unknown we really are afraid of, the uncertainty in life, the pressures of performance, the constraints levied against our daily lives. All of these, that's what today's society has oh so bestowed upon us. But the unknown exists only in the present. So are you afraid of reality that that you really exist in? Feeling so powerless that it feels safer to ignore the reality taking shape, the true reality you may be creating for yourself?
Okay, hold on there, Ross. Okay, hold on. Are you trying to scare everyone away? What's going on here? Let me jump in.
Wait, come back.
Yeah. Let me jump in real quick here to do a little housekeeping and tell everyone about what's coming up for them. So first of all, thanks everyone for joining us on episode 51 of Hacking the Infinity Matrix. Enter the Trance Matrix. Please go ahead and tell us in the comments, in the chat, where you're tuning in from. Yes, that means even those of you who've been on all 51 episodes, and I know you're out there. Please just let us know. We love to see it and to know what kind of community we're reaching out to globally.
I see Demetrius. Demetrius is back. We missed you last week, Demetrius. Mary's back.
A couple weeks we missed him, yeah.
We have Mr. or Mrs. Facebook user. Hi, Patricia. Fantastic.
Awesome. So if it's your first time here, go ahead and let us know with a hashtag first time in the chat, so we can properly greet you. I'm just going to throw that up. There we go. So we can properly greet you when the stream is done. Well, we also appreciate the likes, the comments, the follows, the shares, the subscribes. It helps to let others know about the content that we're sharing, and for that we are truly, truly grateful. So thank you again. Grateful. Today, you're going to get a process that you won't find anywhere else. I guarantee it, 100%, because I made it up years ago for myself and for my clients. So you are really getting a real exclusive super hack today. And as we approach our 1-year anniversary event next week, by the way, make sure you tune in, because next week, intermixed with the great content we have lined up, we're also giving away a 6-day, 5 nights vacation stay in Hawaii, semi-private mastermind coaching session, free access to 7-day Art of Designing Your Reality program, and our Master Lab series. But you have to be in attendance if you to get a chance to win. All right, you have to be in attendance. So make sure you tune in next week. And go ahead and give me a hashtag happy anniversary if you're as excited as we are. And we've got a ton of stuff to cover today. So stop scaring people, Ross.
Sorry. I hate it when Gary punishes me. We are so glad. We're just ecstatic. I just get giggly when it comes to talking about being here and meeting everybody here for a whole year. It's been crazy, so, but really my intention wasn't to scare you away. It was to get you to think about any fears you may have about the reality you exist in, to consider the impact of how those fears may be creating your perceptions of reality. And yes, we have all observed there is a kind of disorderliness that's taking place globally. And whether it's the environment or politics or this pandemic state of mind. And the truth is, there has to be something new to replace it. Because what you're experiencing are systems that cannot sustain themselves. So as certain things begin to break down, we have to make a choice how to create reorder. It was Einstein who said, you cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. So we must think differently, observe, interpret, and respond to the events happening around you, whether it be locally or globally, whether it be in your neighborhood, in your house. Think differently if you want to step out of these problems. And these are pivotal moments that urge us to decide to start this show and offer help and assistance to those in need of it. We understand the demand and are very happy and honored to accommodate. And next week will be our 1-year anniversary. We are so excited. We really are. And, but with that in mind, keep in mind that we can't react to these conditions with anger. We can't react to those conditions with hatred and fear. Why? Because that's the very consciousness that feeds them. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight fire by taking away its fuel, its energy source. So you want to find the peace and solace in your life? Then the first part to that is what we've been showing you for the last 49 weeks. 50 weeks. The ability to truly create a new personal reality, to overcome your present personality and get beyond the normal thinking patterns of action and habits, all of which are emotional residuals from the day before, the week before, and on and on. Your reactions to facing the unknowns, that's the part you have to overcome.
Yeah, let me just jump in here for a second here, Ross. So, as we're talking about, the emotional residuals and being control of those and having choice in those reactions, I want to kind of interject here and just kind of get the group here kind of primed for the hack we're going to do later, the Trance Matrix. So what we know from a lot of different change technologies out there that our mind perceives and processes information in certain ways. And one of the things we found is that emotions, experiences are stored and recalled through colors and sounds, places, memories of events, and even fantasy type experiences that are made up that were not even real. So what I want to do is I want you just to kind of play along here, because this will help for as we get into the Trance Matrix piece of this after a little bit of Ross's info here. In the comments, if if you were to say that there was a color that represented calmness, tranquility, peace, stillness, empowerment, whatever it is, what color would that be? Pick any one of those and go ahead and comment in the comment section, so you can say, peace equals, yellow, or green, or calmness equals blue, or whatever it is. Just give me a comments and just let me hear what's going on with everybody's, the way you've associated just the color to a specific state or feeling or emotion. Go ahead and enter that in the comments, and we'll take a look at those. And also, I want you to do is pick another emotion or another feeling, positive or negative, doesn't really matter right now. Pick another emotion, and if there was a sound that represented that, right? So it could be a musical instrument, it could be a sound of someone you know, or a mentor or something, or if there was, or nature, whatever it is. If there was a sound that represented, give us the state, the emotion, and the sound that represents that. Go ahead and enter that in the chat for us while Ross continues on with the rest of his. Go ahead, I started jumping there, Ross.
That's not a problem. So the challenge is for most people who really want to become aware is the question of how uncomfortable do you have to become before you make up your mind and choose to change something, or, to continue with the status quo and continue to let it suck up most of your energy. Because if we're always worried about the past or the future, we can't be present and be our best selves right now, right here, right this very moment. And the evidence shows us that it's actually possible to do this. The key to this is knowledge. And when you learn new information, you become aware of what you were unaware of. And the awareness is consciousness. And consciousness is commingled with a change in energy. So there's this kind of energetic change going on virtually across the planet. And we have to learn how to use that energy and then organize it and create with it. That energy is endorsing who you're being. So then whatever your belief is, whether you're believing it's the end of the world or a new beginning in a new home, or whatever your belief is, that energy attached to that belief that's taking place right now can be used to endorse it. If you're fearful, you're going to experience more fear and more anxiety. If you're using that energy and learning how to create order out of it, it's going to endorse some greater outcome for you, whether it's health or wealth or whatever in your life. That's what it's all about. You're a creator. So start creating. Don't just think about it. Take action. It's part of our formula. Is everybody with me? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys if we're on the same page here. Are you getting this? Because I'm pulling a lot of things that we've talked about in the last 50 weeks. So are you understanding the polarity of what we're explaining? Okay, so gosh, I don't know how long ago I did this, but I'm going to show you another demonstration. This is a coin. So we're going to imagine that this coin is the energy that you are using right now, right this moment, okay? And this side of the coin is, let's say, non-productive, negative energy. This side of the coin is positive energy, creation. And you, all of us, are right here on the edge. This is your choice convergence point.
Now, it's the third side of the coin, right?
The third side of the coin. We call this the Trinity. Now, think about this. You're going to use this coin. You're right here. You're going to use the energy. Okay? It's impossible not to. You're going to use the energy. Are you going to use this side? Or are you going to use this side? That's all it is. It's a choice. So if I'm going to exist in this moment and I'm going to exert this energy, shouldn't I? Doesn't it just make sense to use the positive, the creation side? Doesn't it? That's really, I'm sorry, I can make this more complicated if you want me to. I really, really can. You know, but we have we prided ourselves in the fact that we really break this down to as simple as we possibly can, because that's really, really what it's all about. Okay. You're using energy. You're using energy every second. You're expelling a frequency every second. So be aware and in control of how the energy is being utilized. You should all get a coin and put it in your pocket of some sort. This is not a real, this is not money. This is a coin. It's very, very, very cool. But just get it and keep it in your pocket. And every once in a while, you just put it in, you know, you just put your hands in your pocket and just kind of feel like, well, what side of this coin am I using? Okay. This is necessary for something greater to happen. And as we've said in the past, you don't try to fix a problem. You focus on creating something better. We've got to get really good at this. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. Don't wait until it gets so uncomfortable that it's possibly too late. You know, it reminds me of people that I've known who have, you know, have had the symptoms of an illness. Okay, this is way before COVID. Just symptoms of an illness, but they ignored it and they ignored it. Oh, I'll go later. Oh, I'll take a look at it later. Oh, I'll take a look at it. You know, I'm sorry. You know, when they finally do, it's freaking terminal, and there's nothing that the doctors can do. This is it's the same type of thing. It's the noise you hear in your car. It's like, what's that noise? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
If I ignore it, it'll go away.
Yeah, exactly. How come my car's not running? Well, you know, you know, there's a show that it's kind of funny that there's this ongoing joke is that the girl keeps ignoring the check engine light. And then finally the car breaks down. You know, it's like, well, you probably could have checked that engine, you know, months ago. You know, it's the same thing. Okay. But this is real stuff. This isn't a TV show. This, you know, I hope that nobody's having any type of illnesses, but these are the things that you've got to look at. These are the messages of synchronicity. Synchronicity isn't just good things. It can be bad things too. It's messaging. And there's a general sense of goodness in people. And I think we're wired to care for one another and to take care of one another and inform and support each other and to heal each other. So if someone wants to diminish that kind of virtuistic behavior, then you would create stress hormones and you would create fear and hostility. Angry pain creates more suffering. And it's those emotions that keep us separate. When this happens, the trance matrix takes over and creates a veiled truth that isn't necessarily the real truth, but it feels better.
Yeah, let me jump in here again. So I think it's a good time. So in your life, you've had places you've been, things you've done, and even experiences where you've gone somewhere and you've done something that's really made a shift in who you are and how you relate with the world, right? And we store those. But what happens is when we store them, many times we don't go back to access those things to help us in the current time, in the current day. So again, along with the Hacking Matrix session today, what I want you to do is I want you to write in the comments, just let us know of places you've been or events that you've done or even vacation spots that you've been to that that you feel have been transformative in some way, right? So for me, for example, one of the profound places for me was Mesa Verde in Colorado. I went there in, I think it was 95 or so. And I totally connected with the land. I connected with the history of it and the just the visual of it. Even to this day, I can remember the exact spot that I was sitting and I was doing some meditation with a friend of mine when we were visiting. And it's been such a powerful resource for me to pull from in times when the normal matrix out there isn't showing me that kind of peace and tranquility. So let us know in the comments. I want to kind of hear what kind of places, what kind of events have you done, gone to that have made a shift for you. And an event could be something as simple as, for many people, watching The Matrix for the first time, or reading a certain book for the first time and having that just really kind of shift and transform just your whole makeup of who you are. Maybe it's specific locations, that you've gone to, or, it could be, you hiked up a mountain, or you did a workshop of some kind where, you did a group event. What kind of things, just we kind of have an idea. And again, do this exercise and participate, enter in the comments, because we're going to need these kinds of things as we jump into the next piece with the super hack today. All right. Sorry, Ross, go ahead.
So it sounds good. So in this current time, we have to be able to rise above the rash emotional states. And then when you do, you're no longer controlled. And the best way to control people is to control their emotions. And when you can control their emotions, of course, you control their attention. So if something or someone in your environment is controlling or being allowed to control you, the way you're feeling or the way you're thinking that something is outside of you and can control the way you feel and the way you think about yourself, you're a victim or a casualty to your environment. And so there is this traumatic polarity that goes on when it decides things are going well. You're happy. When it decides some things are not, you're stressed. And Gary and I, we utilize a method. We use this same method, and but we turn it back on itself to continually self-regulate ourselves using the environment around us as a stimulus. And it's called the infinity process, and we're going to be introducing that in year 2, so very, very soon. So when you learn how to self-regulate and create more coherence in your brain and heart, that's when you control the messages and are no longer at the mercy of your outer world controlling your mood. Does that sound familiar? Okay. In fact, you begin to realize how you think and feel begins to produce an effect in your outer life. And now you start finally believing more that you're the creator of your life and less the victim of your life. The process of repatterning is a process of rewiring, which is a process of reconditioning, which is a process of self-reflection and awareness. Changing these beliefs works when you begin to realize that you can't respond to the same conditions in life with the same emotions in the same thoughts, because if you believe that the way you feel is the way that you create reality, if you're reacting to the same thoughts and feelings equal to the conditions in your life in the same way, then you keep reaffirming the same life over and over and over again.
Yep, going back to Einstein's quote, right?
Exactly. So then the person begins to retreat from their life by creating the trance. which gives them the ability to retreat deeper and deeper and disconnect from that outer world. These patterns begin to lay down neurologically in the brain so that the brain is no longer a record of the past. They're priming their brain to begin to think in different ways. Thus, the brain looks at the experience as if it already happening and predicts that it will happen over and over and over again. So now you need solutions, and that's where Gary's going to take you next. But just a little side note, we're live this Saturday with Down the Rabbit Hole, a 1-hour open discussion about anything we've covered today or anything from any of our episodes. So we hope that you'll come and join us. So this Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Register. I don't know if it's on the screen or not. hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/rabbit hole. And that'll get you registered for it. It's really fun. It's not two talking heads. It's everybody having a conversation about different topics. And we call it the rabbit hole because it can lead anywhere. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and this, I mean, we may start off with this. We discussed it. We may start off with, because we're talking about the trance matrix, we're going to start off with kind of exploring, talking about hypnosis. We're going to dispel some myths around hypnosis, and we're going to explore the magic of it and kind of have a conversation around that, what it is, what it isn't, how you can use it, what are its limitations, all that kind of stuff. And we'll start off with that and see where things go, because I think it'll align with a lot of what we're doing here today.
Yes, it does.
So what I've found from dedicating a significant portion of my life to exploring, studying, and participating in some of those solutions that Ross talked about, the reality is that there is no shortage of things that can work for you. There's no shortage at all. All right. We're in a day and age where, we're inundated with different ways. And sometimes it just becomes difficult to choose the one that's going to work, that you're going to decide to go with. Because at the end of the day, all it comes down to is what you will choose as the permission slip to accept for yourself, to make that change, to make that transformation, to make that improvement. Okay. It ultimately comes down to you saying, that's the permission slip that's going to allow me to create this experience, this reality. Okay. Or the permission slip to find out that that's not going to work for you. I mean, you have the choice. Okay. So I can tell you that one of the most powerful and life-changing things you could ever do for yourself is to learn how to intentionally go into trance and have an experience that serves as a catalyst for your own transformations. And probably the second most powerful thing is to be able to learn to do that for others as well. All right. I started studying trance work strategies from the early age of 13. And I found it resonated with me so much at that early age that I decided to make it an essential part of my life. Right. So I dove deep in. And throughout my years, I've been certified in so many things that I forget to bring some of them up when talking to people about my credentials. Because the reality is, after the first few, then to me at least, it just gets boring and monotonous and becomes just, another 3 letters or another certification, or, from everything from the now mainstream NLP or neuro-linguistic programming to outer edge of what most people don't even know about, like, things like subliminal dynamics, which, isn't taught anymore, but when it was, really on the edge type stuff, but I think too far for its time, right? I've even got my PhD in hypnotherapy, and I don't mention this to boast. I mention it to emphasize how essential I believe this type of exploration and practice is for myself and for others. Right? I've found that having the ability to enter different trance states by choice And I say different trance states, and we'll talk about, there's too much to go into talk about all of the pieces of this today. So that's why we have the rabbit hole and potentially other streams. But, there's different trance states that you can use for different things, for different reasons, for different purposes. But by developing that ability to enter different trance states by choice, it opens up possibilities for behavior modification, stimulating creativity, gaining emotional stability and control, for healing the body, and even developing a deeper connection with your higher self. The benefits are all completely personalized and increased the more you do it, which means I don't know what you're going to experience, right? I can't tell what I'm going to experience until after I've got it, right? But you can definitely go into we can go into this more on down the rabbit hole on Saturday. Saturday morning, join us by registering for the Zoom link. We sent it on the chat there. It's on the screen. I'll make sure it's back up there again. There we go. 8 a.m. for and jump on the Zoom for the conversation this Saturday, 8 a.m. Love to have you there. And so let's go through the process today. I'm going to take you off the screen so I can do a screen share here for everybody, Ross. And we will stop that. Oh, no, I'm going to just do...
Oh, I'm back.
You're back. Okay, I'll bring you there. Okay. Oh, I removed them. Hopefully I didn't remove them from the chat. Uh-oh. Okay, he may have to jump back in. I pushed the wrong button. Okay, hopefully he'll come back. All right, let me take that off. Okay, so this process is a process I call Enter the Trance Matrix. And let's start off with just understanding that when you're going into trance, you break it down to the simplest format of any meditation or hypnosis or guided visualization or whatever you want to call it. They're all really the same thing, just in different flavors. Oh, hold on. Is he back? Are you back? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. It wasn't intentional. Okay. So all right. So there's basically three stages, if you will, of entering into trance. If we kind of break it down to its simplest format, and then we can build from there with each stage. Kind of, you can make it really elaborate or really simple. It's up to you. But I want to give you a tool today that you can take with you. And I'm gonna do a screen share so that and take you through kind of a worksheet. It's not there yet. It's just a second, and make sure that's there. And okay. And then the worksheet will be available for download. So we're going to have that available. I'll give you the link for it after I go through some of the details, because I don't want you to get caught up in that. I want you to keep your attention on me here. But we will have the link available for you to download this these worksheets, and you can use them for yourselves. And so I'll share this when we're closer to the end of the teaching part of this. All right. So again, we got three stages. The first stage is, how you enter into trance. And there's all kinds of different ways that you can enter into trance. Okay. So entrance is the first stage. Second stage is the experience that you want to have when you're there. What's the experience? What's the intention? What's the purpose? What's the outcome that you want to get out of it? And so there's all kinds of different ways that we can do that. And then there's the exit. Well, what's going to happen and how you exit, and when you exit, what's going to be the result of that when you come back into the quote unquote real world, or the normal matrix that everybody else is experiencing, okay, or agreeing to. And so those are the three elements, three components that we're going to kind of go into. But before we get into the actual trance, there's a piece that's missed. I feel that's missed in, oh man, I would say 95, if not more, percentage of the books that teach meditation, guided visualization, hypnotherapy. It's just not. I don't see it out there, and trust me, I've dived deep into this topic over the years. Right? Maybe not so much now as I used to. as far as quantity of stuff, but I still keep on top of what's going on in the realm, right? So let me do a screen share here and showing that, and then minimize me. There we go. I'm tiny. Okay, let me remove that off there. All right, great. So when you're doing a trance process, the first thing they're going to go through 7 quick steps. 6 of these steps will lead to the final real piece that we're going towards. So it's really just one step, but it contains 7 elements. Okay, I want to break it down so you can kind of know the step-by-steps of how to do it, and then build up your skill and ability so you can speed it up at the after some practice. All right. So first thing you want to do is you want to set up your environment. Okay, you want to set up your environment to make sure that it's conducive to that trance experience that you want. All right. Most times, not all the time, most times you're going to want it to be quiet. Definitely when you start off doing this, you're going to want a place that's quiet. But, I teach trance processes where, and I have students go out and test this, where they can go into like a concert type experience and enter into trance, be there for a moment, be there for a period of time, and come out of trance in the middle of that kind of chaos. Okay, so it's doable, but you need to build the muscle and the skill to be able to do it. So the first thing is as you start off, is you want it somewhere comfortable, quiet. You want a place, and I suggest when you're starting off, a place or time where you won't be disturbed for about 30 minutes in total. So that means some preparation time, that means the trance time, and that means the coming out of it and kind of getting reorientated time. So 30 minutes is a good window of time to do this. Okay. I suggest that you, if you're in a home or in a building type environment, to put a do not disturb sign on the door. Okay. Let everyone in the home or place where you're at, let them know this is your time. Okay. And you can choose to have some soothing music in the background if you want. It's not essential, but it's nice and adds to the ambiance. All right. And then dim the lights to make it easier on your eyes when they're closed. Again, not essential, but these are things to kind of maximize and increase the experience for you as you develop your skill. All right. So the first thing is you want to set up your environment. Then what you want to do is you want to set your purpose or your outcome and your intention for going into that trance experience. Maybe it's just to kind of find peace and tranquility. Maybe it's to reduce stress or anxiety. Maybe it's to change a behavior that's been, nagging you and bugging you and creating havoc in your life, and you want to make that change. Whatever it is, you're going to write down 3 to 5 transformational experiences that you'd like to have as a result of this trance experience. Okay. And, they don't have to be turn your life around in 180. It could be just simple shifts and adjustments. You want to get a little bit better at that. You want to remember things more. You want to wake up with more energy in the mornings. You want to have more clarity on a specific thing that's kind of bugging you or nagging you as far as, in your life and your life experiences. Whatever it is, you can kind of fill in 3 to 5 different experiences. And I say put down in each time that you do this, write down 3 to 5 experiences. But then when you're actually going to go into the trance, we're just going to pick one of them. Okay. And the reason we do this is because the way that your unconscious mind works is that it doesn't always, especially when you start off, it doesn't always do things in the time frame that you want, okay, or in the order that you want. So what I suggest is you pick 5 things, 6 things, whatever, and you say, okay, these are the 6 intentions or goals I'd like, but the one I want to focus on today is, this one here. And then when you go into the trance experience, your unconscious mind has the flexibility to say, you're not ready for that yet. So why don't we do this right now? Why don't we do that right now? Why don't we do this? And you start to get some ripple effects, some, of some of the other things because you set that intention. Okay. And so instead of just going single-minded and kind of, blocking yourself into that having to be the only change, because then you're setting yourself up for failure that way. All right. So I want to set you up for success. So go in with a variety of options, no more than 6, but 3 to 5, and then pick one, and then take that one, and then take it through the rest of the trance process you're doing. And the next time you come to do it, you can pick a different one, okay? Or the same one until you get the result that you want. Okay, so you set your purpose, your outcome, your intention by making a note of what those are. Then you're going to set the duration for the time of your practice, okay? And I usually suggest starting off that, and even, as you get, experienced, 20 minutes is a good window of time. Doing more than that can sometimes be too much and overkill, and you can slip into deeper brainwave frequencies than are going to be necessary or useful for you. So 20 minutes is a good window of time for most people. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to set the duration of time, and you're going to repeat out loud 3 to 5 times the following sentence. You're going to say, I'm going to be in trance for 20 minutes. You're saying it out loud, so you're voicing it for your conscious and your unconscious mind to kind of set an internal timer. Okay, you're going to say it 3 times. I'm going to be in trance for 20 minutes. I'm going to be in trance for 20 minutes. I'm going to be in trance for 20 minutes. All right. Then you're going to state the purpose and the outcome or intention for the session. So, what we set in number 2, once we've declared how long we're going to be in trance, we're then going to we're going to state what that goal we're going to focus on is. And I usually suggest that you do it 10 times. Okay, especially when you start off. The more you do it, the less you'll need to do these. But when you start off, 5 times, write it out. I'm going into a state of trance for the purpose of reducing stress. I'm going into the purpose of trance for reducing stress, or drinking more water, or eating less, or building motivation for exercise, or whatever the thing is that you want to work on, right? Or creating a state of calmness. Whatever it is, you're going to state that, write it down 5 times, and verbally say it 5 times. Okay, there's something in the actual writing that wires the neurology of the brain and the body differently. So don't discard that as an important tool. It is. Write it down in a journal or something where you kind of keep track of your experiences. Right. Then you're going to decide on the method that you're going to use. Throughout the programs that we teach, that Ross and I teach, and even in some of the streams, you will be getting different methods of entering into trance, some more obvious than others, like today's super obvious, we're clear. In other times, I'll just take you through them and you can kind of dissect it yourself, right? So you're going to claim, I will enter the trance by using, and today we're doing the trance matrix method. Okay, and there's a ton of them, but these are some of the common, easy ones that we teach. All right, and so you're going to say, I will enter. You do this 3 to 5 times. You're going to repeat out loud. I will enter trance by using the trance matrix method. Okay, repeating that out loud 3 times, and then you're going to decide how you exit the trance state. Because again, we have an idea of how we're going to go in. We're going to have an idea what's going to happen when we're there, and we need to get clear on what's going to happen as we exit. So we're going to say, I will exit the trance state in 20 minutes, if that's a time frame you set, by waking up refreshed and alert. Or I'm going to exit the trance state in 20 minutes by drifting into deep, wonderful sleep if you're doing it right before bedtime or a time that you can slip into a nap. Okay, I suggest bedtime is a really good time to do it because you're naturally going to be going through those states anyways. So if you can have a process to align with that, it just makes it easier. But also get in the habit of doing it in different times so that you can do it by choice and not just by the natural rhythm of your body. All right. Okay, then you review the entire process. So everything ultimately comes into step number 7, which what you want to do is you want to create a full statement in its totality saying, I'm going to be in trance for 20 minutes. I'm going to this trance state for the purpose of relieving stress and anxiety or whatever your goal is there. I will enter trance by using the trance matrix method, and I will exit the trance state in 20 minutes by drifting into deep, wonderful sleep. Okay, or exiting into wide awake, whatever it is. And you're going to repeat that 3 to 5 times. Okay, at least 3 times you're going to repeat that whole sentence out loud. And as I mentioned, as you get better at this and the more practice you have, you know, all of the first 6 steps is really all summarized right in here in step 7. So you don't need to kind of do them individually that way. You can kind of just go right to 7, decide how long, decide the purpose, decide the method, and then decide the exit, and just put in one statement and repeat that 3 to 5 times, and then do your process. Okay. Once you've done all that, then you're ready to go into a trance state. Okay, and it maximizes the effectiveness of that experience that you're going to take yourself through. All right, so here's how you do the trance matrix process. It's kind of fun. So what we're going to do is, remember I said there's 3 different ways, 3 different stages. The first is you're going to have an entrance, you're going to have an experience, you're going to have an exit. Okay, all of which we just talked about. Okay. So what you're going to do is, and I've filled this out for you here, but you will get a blank version with blank space, like blank spaces to fill out for yourself. I just did this for example and to speed things up. So when you download the document, you'll get the preparation, the first 2 pages I just went through, and this page, but this one will be blank, and you fill it in. So what you're going to do is, as we mentioned in the stream earlier, you're going to think of 3 colors that give you pleasant experiences. Okay, and you know, they could be for, you know, tranquility. They could be for joy, happiness. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to pick 3 different colors and write them down in blocks across from the colors. Okay, so you're going to put them in that area there, that area there, and that area there. I hope you can see my mouse. There, right there. So you're going to put it in there, across the way there. Then you're going to write down 3 sounds that you enjoy, that give pleasure, that give you a sense of tranquility, whatever they are. So you're going to just write them down in the block there. And then you can do the same thing with places, you know, so a lake, a mountain, a cabin, in the woods, whatever. You're going to write those down in there. Then you're going to say 3 different activities or daily events. It could be, you know, like I said, driving, going to the theater, you know, camping, washing dishes, you know, whatever it is, just whatever activities or events that have some kind of process with them, right? So, because what we're going to do is we're going to use those as metaphors for transformations or even for the inductions themselves. Okay. And then same thing with vacation spots. So places that when you think about, you know, you whether it's real or imagined in your experience, so meaning you haven't been there but you'd like to and you've heard about it, they kind of transpose you into a different state of mind. Okay. And so the whatever those are for you, you're going to write down 3 of them. You can change this every single time, or you can use one matrix here and kind of go to town and use it and create a ton of completely different and unique trance experiences. So here's how you use it. Once you have it filled out, you're going to pick one thing from the entrance, from the enter column. So one of those, right? Then you're going to pick one thing from the experience column. Then you're going to pick one thing from the exit column, and you're going to use those as the method to go into the induction or the trance that you want. So, for example, let's pick red for the entrance. If you let me grab some water, sorry. Okay, if you pick red, what you're going to do is you're going to use the color red in your imagination to guide you into relaxation and to kind of calm the mind, calm the body, calm the thoughts, and kind of get yourself into an altered state in that way. So, for example, with your eyes closed, you'd imagine the color red entering into your body from the top of your head. As it enters into your head, imagine filling the top of your head, calming the brain, calming the thoughts, calming the emotions as it comes down, calming the actual cellular structure and the muscles and the bones of the body, in the joints, all the way down to the neck, and have it fill you all the way down to the tips of the fingers, tips of the toes, and have it just kind of bring this kind of calm coolness down. You can start from the top down, or you can start from the bottom up. So you can go from the toes and bring it up, whatever fits and suits for you. Test, because each one is going to give you a different type of experience. All right. So you would use that as a way to kind of go into that relaxed state. Then if we use, birds, for example, as the experience, then what I'm going to do is when I get to after I do the entrance and I get into a relaxed, altered state where I'm not quite asleep, not quite awake, but I kind of feel relaxed, almost a daydream state, but a little bit deeper than that. That's where you want to kind of head to. And again, we'll talk more about the different trance states on Saturday. So if you want to jump on that, we can kind of go into more distinctions of those. But you want to get into that state that's different from where you were, and remember what the intention was. So if it's peace and tranquility, then what I want to do is I want to imagine that, birds as a metaphor of some kind, bringing and flying and dropping off messages of peace and tranquility, or sensations of being in bliss or whatever. So I want to use the imagination of birds kind of in the process. And maybe I imagine myself, stepping into the eyes of a bird and floating and flying and coasting in the clouds and just kind of being in that tranquility of stillness and being supported by the universe and kind of flowing and observing the planet from a different perspective and seeing what other options and choices are there. And use that as your experience for coming up with the solution or the experience or the intention that you set in step number 2 or 3, whatever it was. Okay. Then once you have that for a window of time and you kind of feel that there's something shifted, something's changed, or something's been activated, then you go to, okay, well, now I feel like my 20 minutes is coming up, so I kind of got to exit now. And then so my exit is, let's say it's camping. Okay. So then then I have the bird land in a campground, and in the campground, I come back into my own body, and in my own body. Say it again. Oh, I thought I heard you say something there, Ross. Okay. Yeah. So you have the bird kind of land in the campground, and then just kind of imagine yourself kind of getting back in the campground. You get back into your body, and like the sun comes up in the morning and you hear the birds chirping, and you're in your tent or wherever you're camping, and you feel a sense of the fresh air waking you up, and the light coming on the bringing you up, and you kind of feel yourself waking up into a refreshing experience. Right. Or if it's the go to sleep one, it's you land and the sun goes down, you get the campfire, you feel warm, cozy, and you kind of curl up in your sleeping bag and you kind of drift into sleep, depending on what your exit is going to be. Okay. And so you can use these, and I can jump around, and the next time I do it, I could use water as the entrance. And then I can use mountain as the transformation, and then I can use white as the exit. I can mix it up, and then I can switch these, so I can take white and put it over here into the entrance, and purple can go to the exit. It's a matrix that you can play with and create an infinite amount of different types of trance inductions for yourself or for others, just utilizing a little bit of creativity and using that process. Okay, so if you want to download these worksheets, I'm gonna let you work for it. Go ahead and do a hashtag, just so I know that everyone's here and is enjoying it. Give me a hashtag Trance Matrix in the chat, hashtag Trance Matrix, and then I'll share the link. If I don't get enough, I'm not sharing the link. So there. Let me bring Ross in here. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, and let me take the screen share out. There we go.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a technical difficulty with that link right now, Gary. So it'll probably take everybody about 10 minutes after the show to get it to get their download.
Oh, okay. You know what? Because I think I forgot to change. No, I thought I did change it to Area 15. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna I'll drop the link and I'll double check it when we're done here. It will be available. Okay, we got a couple of Trance Matrix us, and all right, good. Okay, so some people want it. Okay, good. So here's the link.
Go.
All right, and It should show up on the screen there, and I'll share it. There we go. Right there. hackingtheinfinitematrix.com/area51. See what I did there? Okay. All right. I was gonna set it to episode 51 / episode 51, but I thought I'd have a little bit fun with the synchronicity of the episode and the idea of a mysterious and some would even say transformational place. So /area51 is where you'll be able to get access to the Trance Matrix download. Go ahead and head over there again. Give me a few minutes after the stream. And then head over there and you'll be able to download it, print it out, and practice. If you get a chance to practice before Saturday, we'd love to hear about your experience. So jump on the Zoom call
for sure.
for Down the Rabbit Hole, and please do share. Again, you have to register for the Zoom link at hackingtheinfinitematrix.com /rabbit hole. So let me just put that back up again. There on the screen. And so again, give me a few minutes to kind of check. I think maybe maybe for some reason I did not change it back to Area 51 after I was kind of going back and forth. Should I keep it to episode or change it to 51? So that's the link. That is our stream for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, sticking around. We truly hope you found a lot of value in the content today and look forward to hearing about it more from you. Remember to share this, to like, to comment. Let's get it out there. We're noticing some of the numbers kind of drop. We kind of gonna get everybody back in and back into getting the rest of this year going with a momentum. Our year 2 content is off the chain. Next week is ridiculous with the prizes and the things we're going to give away. So make sure you're there and share. Let's get a bunch of people on to participate, and that's going to be fun. We dare you to be exceptional as you go out and artfully design your reality you desire. Until next time, everyone, be well. We love you all, and thanks again for showing up. I'm just going to throw that one more time.
We're going to get that link fixed right out. Gary, hang on.
Yep. What's that?
No, let's go ahead and finish up and then
okay.
Stay on.
All right. Okay, great.